happened with the 6th grade class of 2013-14.
Because it's not working, Marjorie.
Administration will be recommending discontinuing the program at the end of the present school year. The letter from South Orange, acting superintendent Memley. Oh my God, I just lost the article. You can pick it back up.
The letter from South Orange Mayport acting superintendent of school, James Memley, was forwarded to the Village Green from a South Orange Middle School parent. It's also circulating on Facebook. Village Green has reached out to the district for further comment.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a fantastic week to re-energize and are looking forward to some warmer weather and a great end.
You're not going to read that whole thing, are you?
How long is it?
It's long.
Let me see if I can get something out of here. The purpose of the middle school transformation plan was to increase the level of rigor and challenge in our middle schools and to make it more consistent across classrooms and buildings. Other external initiatives such as Common Core standards, Achieve NJ have had some good and some the same goal and end result. While teaching IB techniques, educational philosophy, and strategies are sound practices, we believe that together teachers and administrators can achieve and maintain the same instructional goals without participating and adhering to the IB framework. The unit plans that have been developed by grade level teams have focused on the right components of sound practice, inquiry-based instruction. Those plans and common assessments will continue to be used in the future. Wow.
There you have it.
Interesting. I wonder if it was because of the cost. So you take the what's good about the program and keep it, but then
It's a great idea to get rid of it.
How do you know that it's a great idea? You can't
you
even.
know how I know? Based on the teachers that came up and said it wasn't working, and they gave it some time. That's how I know.
I don't know if they said that it wasn't working. I think that teachers,
that.
I mean, from what I gather.
We were there at the meeting.
I was at the meeting with you.
Yeah,
yes,
we
but
were
from
there.
what I gather is that the teachers don't like the way things are rolled out and implemented. So the first person comes who's still trained in this.
Marjorie, you going to change the teacher's opinion?
No, that is not what I gathered. I gathered that they didn't like the rollout and the planning of it and
Marjorie,
strict
they
guidelines.
said it was not working. They said that. Come on. They said it wasn't working.
They said it what? I'd have to go revisit that meeting. I'm sorry, that's not the way I heard that. And how do you have something for 1 year?
It was more than 1 year. It was since
2013.
2 years.
That's 2 years.
Yeah.
It's 2015 now.
Right,
so
2
12,
years.
13, 14. So you don't even
2
get
years.
to see the people that were piloted in that. I mean, no.
Marjorie, that's over 700 and something
You don't understand,
days.
wow. No, it's not 700 days. It's 180 some days times 2. Wow.
Okay, 180 days times 2. 1 year of school days. And that's not enough.
Yeah, but no. You know what happens in education?
You got to take off your teacher's cap sometimes.
You know what happens in education? What they do is they come up with something, some new program that's probably been around forever, and somebody picks it up, here's the new trend, and they jump on that. Then after 4 years of them stressing you out over it, then they change another plan. And then 10 years later, you're doing the same thing that you were 10 years ago.
You got to stop being so defensive as a teacher, man.
I'm sorry. I do have to take care of my people.
I'm a teacher, too.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
I'm a teacher, too.
No, you're not in the trenches, Anselm.
So you disagree that they should discontinue the program?
I disagree. I'm sorry.
But you haven't given me any facts yet why they should.
I just said that because you haven't had enough time to study what the impact is on the students.
So you want to wait till those students do even worse before you discontinue the program?
How do you know they're doing? You don't know if they're doing.
That's what they said.
That's not what they said. That's not what I got from that.
Well,
I got from that.
Were you in the same room as I was?
Yes, I was in the same room.
Were you there on time?
It sounds like a microaggression. Okay. You weren't on time, were you?
Did you come? Did you come the same time as I did?
No, I probably was late, but no, I didn't.
So you missed part of it?
No, I was listening in the radio on the way in.
Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I was listening.
That's a good thing. So since you can't win that one, you want. You want?
And I don't know. I just, you can't just you start a program and then you stop and then you pick up something else. I
Marjorie,
mean,
I'm going to err on the
I mean,
side.
that's great that those teachers, first of all, I think the agenda of the people, certain board members was to get rid of that program. And now that those people, have that ability to do that, that's what they're going to do.
I'm going to err on the side.
But there must have been some value behind it. Let me see what
I'm going to err on
the
the side of the
community or
teachers.
some of the community.
Marjorie, there was one teacher told them they've been doing this for over 30 years.
I understand that.
30 years. And you're not going to put any credence in that teacher?
No, when teachers say that, the things that program teaches you, which is to think in a global kind of way.
Not critically.
That's critical, of course it is. But you're making a connection between
Thinking
disciplines. Global. When
You
you're
might have
thinking,
me thinking like this microaggression. Are you, what? You from Japan? Do you speak Asian?
I forget it, Anselm. I'm not going to try to get, I get thrown off. I'm like, if I get on a roll, I'll get on a roll.
You got to try and convince people of your point.
Well, the point is, Anselm,
Yes, Marjorie.
there's several points. Number one, you don't start something and just throw it to the side.
If
after
it's
2
not
years.
working, get rid of
Number
it.
two, you had the people who were trained in the program, trained to teach the teachers.
The teachers.
The people who were trained to teach the teachers left the building.
Okay.
The training cost a lot of money, and some of the teachers had to pay for their own training. All right? Or pay for half of that. And
Okay.
that was another problem. I do recognize the fact that they, the way that people teach here, at least for the education that I got from my children, they do think in a global way, and they are able to make connections. But what programs do is put you in a bind and say, here is a curriculum, and this is how it's going to go. And the College Board does the exact same thing. This is what you're going to cover in order to get this AP credit if indeed you get a 3 or 4 or 5 on this test and qualify and your university accepts it. So either way, you're buying into a program. With the College
But
Board...
this is in the middle school, though. This is IB. This is in the middle school.
Yes, I understand. And the International IB program.
Yeah, it's the middle
This is
school.
actually MYP, the middle years program,
But
from
this
the
is not
International Baccalaureate.
High school.
Yes, because they didn't continue the program to the high school. They have a high school portion of this program, this middle years program. So it's usually the middle years program is 7, 8, 9, and then the IB program is 10, 11, 12. And so they didn't pick up an IB for 10, 11, 12. They just dealt with the middle years program. And the way, and I remember that the reason they picked this up, it was a response to a leveling issue. So you're going to de-level, and we're going to create or come up with a curriculum. We're going to select this particular curriculum that everybody is going to do this. So it's project-based. And so, now the teachers have to come up with a new way of doing something, and there is always a resistance to that from teachers. Somebody says, okay, you have to do this exactly like this. I'm going to resist that, especially it depends on who's rolling it out and how it gets rolled out. And so the administrators who get all panicky, then they panic you out, and then you're unable, and especially if you're being judged on something. You're judged on how to teach something new that you've never taught before, and that administrator's on your neck for that, even though they didn't roll out the information in the correct way. That's where that problem happens. And then I wish somebody had told these people, doggone it, I wish I had talked to them, because this is not
Marjorie,
not the way to do that. You don't do
unfair.
that. There's just these trends that we go through in education.
You've been unfair. It took them. The program was rolled out. They never, ever had any problems with the program. They said it was going to give it an opportunity to work. They gave it 2 years. And when they figured out it wasn't working, they said enough.
I'm going to find out how it wasn't working.
That's come on. They said that when the program was rolled out, they didn't just say, "Oh, we're not going to do this." They give it an opportunity to work. And to me, 2 years is more than a long time enough in order for any program to work. And it wasn't working, and they say, you know what? It's a time to jump off this ship. Jump off the ship, man. Let's go with something else, because this is not working for the kids and it's not working for the teachers. And the most experienced, as a matter of fact, the person who was in charge of the program came and said, time to cut bait. So, what are you going to do? You're going to say, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about? So do you want to go to this Michael Eric Dyson thing, or you want to go something else?
No, we can do that. I want to see what other people, if anybody had any comment on
You want
this
to say that again?
whole IB thing. But go ahead.
You
Michael,
wanna-
we'll do it with Michael. I mean, if you want to talk about him again.
No,
Like,
no, we
there's
don't have to
something-
talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is.
It seems like there's this piece of this that you want to expose. So let's hear what it is. I don't know. I don't know.
What do you know?
I think that's sad. I'm not happy about that.
Okay. All right.
I mean, there should have been a better way of doing that.
So,
Because now, so what if they end up going back to the same kind of leveling, Anselm? They have to answer the whole level issue in the middle school. And so that was the alternative to leveling. That's the way I saw that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I saw that as the alternative to leveling.
Marjorie, for me, I let the experts deal with it. Whether the program.
We don't have experts. We have a bunch of bunglers, okay? They're not experts.
She's using my word.
No, they're not experts.
They are experts.
No, they're not
She's
experts.
in charge of the program. She's the one that's
Who is
in
this
charge.
she? Who?
The
Who is
woman
this?
who was there for over 30 years. That was the one that says it's not working.
I'm gonna investigate.
Marjorie, this was like a few months ago.
I am going to investigate.
Okay, all right. Anyway, here we have. We just have that microaggressions. Here is 7 terms you should steer clear of when discussing racism.
I'm listening.
We just had microaggression, right?
Right.
Atop a growing heap of black corpse, Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz, FBI Director James Comey, and a teeming board of white people proclaimed the need for a chit-chat on racism. Never mind that we have been discussing white violation of black people since Oluda Equiano and Harriet Jacobs. You know those two?
I think I know the Jacobs person.
Or that these talks have not convinced white people to permanently divest from the enterprise of white supremacy. These chinwags are designed to be important because the exchanged words rarely reveal the truth about what racism is and how it works. A Chinese proverb says, "The beginning of wisdom is to call things by their proper name." Whew. Words are tools, weapons. Mm-hmm. See, that is part of the problem that we have in this community right now. And that organization at in South America, at Columbia High School, I call Diversity Rocks.
Right.
This is what this is trying to tell you.
What? I don't get it. What?
It's a black organization.
But they call it Diversity Rocks.
Diversity Rocks.
Leave those people's the name. That's what they want to call themselves.
No.
Let them
I'm
call
sure.
themselves.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead.
Okay. People must re-examine the way we articulate the value of black life and the machinations, okay, of white terrorism. Too many terms deliberately obscure and confound an accurate understanding of racism. Let me repeat that. Too many terms deliberately obscure and confound an accurate understanding of racism.
Okay.
Our vocabularies require spring cleaning. Take these 7 phrases to the dump. First one. Crying racism. There's a lengthy record of white paternalism that justify white tyranny by equating the global black collective with unruly, ungrateful, undisciplined children in need of white guardians. Former President Richard Nixon, Hollywood icon John Wayne, and literary giant Rudyard Kipling. You know who Rudyard Kipling was?
Yes, he was the one who wrote White Man's Burden.
He also
got Nobel Prize.
He also coined the poem "If." Mm-hmm. We had to learn that while we pledging Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
It's the other ugly things that he did that don't sound cool.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So, all concluded and promoted that the white man's burden was to rule the immature colors of the earth. Mm-hmm. The phrase crying racism is the evolution of this racist doctrine. When black people correctly charge, accuse, or indict whites for centuries of terrorism, we are compared to whimpering infants throwing a tantrum. It is expected that racists will employ this